Calling the regular meeting of October the 17th, 2024 of the South Lebanon City Council to order.
Allen,
Present.
Carmack, Combs,
Present.
Feder,
Present.
Harrison,
Present.
Spicer.
Present.
Could you all please rise for the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance? Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer this evening to ask you to grant us wisdom, guidance, and bless the work we do here this evening. Let us do it with respect for each other and our community. Bless all of our first responders and their families. Keep them safe from harm. We pray for all of those that have been affected by Hurricane Helene and Milton. We pray that you will give them strength, courage, and comfort them to face the rebuilding of their communities and lives. Be with this country and community as we move forward during these challenging times. In your holy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first thing I want to address is our agenda had been amended and a guest speaker is here, Kevin Payton, to talk about Joshua's Place in the Community Center. Take it away.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Good to see you. If we've not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Kevin Payton. Nona and I live at 120 Vista Ridge Drive here in South Lebanon. I'm the Executive Director of Joshua's Place. I'm also the Senior Pastor of the Village Church over at the Community Center. And I appreciate you letting me come and speak. It wasn't my plan and intent. Nona's got some packets to hand out because I'll be referencing a couple of things as I talk here. I'll try to be brief, but you've been warned that I'm a pastor, so
Thank you.
you might just take up an offering for this.
Okay.
Any farther. But I'm here for really three reasons. I'm here because as a result of some of the discussion and controversy around some of the city leased properties, we were kind of brought into it with some questions about the structure of the lease that we have with what is the community center, who was at that community center, and how that arrangement is there. And so I want to bring clarity to that because I think it's important to make sure that we're dealing in facts here. I also want to talk through a little bit of the historical cost that in terms of capital improvements and ongoing costs that we put into the community center and then how that yields impact. And then finally, I want to share with council something we've been working on for the past several months that have been underworks prior to this, but since I'm here, thought I'd go ahead and talk about it, about some future plans that are being proposed for the community center. I just want to say on the front end, and I'll probably say this 2 or 3 times, it's not my intent to stand up here in front of you on behalf of the organizations that I represent and take credit for anything. We are followers of Jesus, believing strongly in the teaching of the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 6, where Jesus says, be certain not to practice your righteousness in front of other people, because when you do that, you get your reward already. So it is never our intent to do that. However, in talking with our elders and the board of Joshua's Place, we feel like some of the misinformation that's being out there is because we've not done that, because of the things that we've done we've been in this community for 15 years. Joshua's Place started here 16 years ago, 315 West Pike Street, in the basement of that house with 10 volunteers, 15 families. Today, just to give you scope, 400 volunteers, 30 churches. We're in 5 school districts, 27 school buildings. All of it started here in South Lebanon. The community center is our home, along with the other 4 sites that we have with the work that we're doing. And so I don't want to portray any of this as a reflection on our goodness, but to honestly make sure that we're clear about how this arrangement really works, because there was some description of things and uses of the community center that people want to take back that are there because we put them there. The reason that it is a community center is because we made it a community center. When we negotiated this lease originally with Mayor Smith and the council at the time, and when we renewed the lease, there were no requirements on our behalf to make it a community center. That was never, however, that's what we want. That's the kind of organizations we are. We want to be here to serve the community. And so all the things that go on, the wedding showers, the baby showers, the homeowners association meetings, the veterans event, all of those things happen. We schedule them, we pay for them, we don't charge anyone, and we're glad to do it. We feel like that's why we're here. We think that's a part of what it means to give to the community. So I want to make sure that we're clear that the lease that we have is with Joshua's Place. Joshua's Place holds the lease to the building, and there are 4 organizations that do work in that building on a regular basis. Joshua's Place is one, Village Church is one, Celebrate Recovery, and King's Food Pantry. So all 4 of those work together. We've got good relationships. 3 are under my leadership, Joshua's Place, Celebrate Recovery, and Village Church. And we've got a great relationship with the King's Food Pantry. One of the things I want to draw your attention to as we get into a little bit of the numbers and the detail, going back to what I said earlier, but just for context, is to talk about investment. So on the first page that I gave you there, that is a list of capital investments that we've made in this facility since we had it. The way that our lease is structured is that we pay all of our rents in the beginning. See, the arrangement that we've made with council originally is that we'll make improvements to the building, we'll pay for them, and we'll do that before we actually are in the space. And so when we've done these, and this 400,000, by the way, is probably double what we'd said we would do. It's well beyond what's there, but you're going to see over $400,000 of investments that have gone into that community center. This is not the taxpayers paying for this. This is the supporters of those organizations that I just mentioned. Joshua's Place, Celebrate Recovery, and Village Church is paid for all of that. So it's things, some of you have, my dad went to school over here, right? And when we got into this building, it was occupied. It was heavily occupied with a bat infestation. We spent $40,000 on 2 bat remediations. I know you guys had to do it here too. We've remodeled the bathrooms. We've put in HVAC. We've done flooring. We've done carpeting. We've done all those that's what's represented here in this $400,000. We've paid for all of that. That's been on our dime, and we're glad to do it. Talking about ongoing operating expenses, that's the second page. And if you look at that on the left-hand side, it's more financial. On the right-hand side, it's more about impact. And so this is what spent last year. This was last year's expenses. We spent $30,442 on utilities, electric, water. That building's old. The windows are single pane. It leaks air conditioning like a sieve. It's very expensive to heat and air that building. We're looking forward to making some improvements around that. Repairs and maintenance, just last year, $16,000. We were criticized for taking $600 in monthly rent from the King's Food Pantry. You'll see that $7,200 is just reimbursement. When their PTAC unit goes out in the room that they have, we replaced it. It was $3,500. So the $7,200 we collect from the King's Food Pantry is not profit to us. Okay, we're a nonprofit and all these organizations, but that's really about us making sure we can maintain the building. And I can tell you from talking to Bill Smith, their president, they're glad to pay it. They're happy to contribute to what goes on in that community center. So a net on our behalf, $39,000. Let's talk about programming. So Joshua's Place is, of course, an organization that walks alongside family that are struggling in poverty. And we have a litany of programs that go on in that building for families here in South Lebanon. We've got a food cooperative, which is an adult development program where people receive food twice a month. They take classes on financial literacy, parenting, health and wellness. 75 families a month are a part of that. We've got weekend food programs that we take out to all the schools in the King School District. We have a Whiz Kids tutoring program. I know some of you are on council. Brenda's been a tutor. We've got that tutor these kids once a week, every day during the school year. We've got a summer reading recovery program. We've got a children's library. We have summer camps. All of that happens in this community center, along with things like care closets, which are in all of the school buildings and all of our school districts. And then Thanksgiving, we're giving away 200 meals, back to school supplies. Just this last year, over 200 backpacks filled with about $100 worth of school supplies for each child that receives school supplies. So as we add that up, it's about 1,200 touches a month. On the Celebrate Recovery side of things, we have meetings on Wednesday nights. So Celebrate Recovery is a recovery ministry helping folks dealing with addiction, hurts, habits, hangups. We have meetings on Wednesday nights, meetings on Saturday mornings. We've got studies going through all the week. And then there's all the costs associated with that. We feed everybody. We have a teen CR program. We've got a children's program. $7,800 we spend every year just buying pizza and feeding people for that, along with all the curriculum and all of that goes into it. So the net total, just last year, $143,000 that we spent, and we're spending it again this year, and we'll spend it again next year. We'll spend it over the past 16 years that we've been in the community. So that's an idea of the community commitment that we've got. And I would total that down to about 654 people that are impacted on Celebrate Recovery. So what I would call a net impact of over 1,800 impacts a month coming out of that community center. So that's where we're at. That's the impact of what's going on. Let's talk a little bit about future plans. Those next 4 pages you've got there. What I did not include in that $400,000 is we've just recently spent $15,000 retaining an architect to talk about improvements to the facility. We believe that this part of our town is a critical part of our identity and the future of where we're at. So we believe this is a good facility for us to be investing in. So what you see there is a proposed addition, $700,000 just for that addition. On top of that, we've got plans that could include a community theater, several other things that go into that building. If we're able to do fully everything that the architects have drawn out, it's $1.5 million that we would like to and intend to invest, assuming I can raise the money that we can do all of that. So I wanted to show you those pictures. I know Mayor has seen them, Jerry. I think Brenda had seen them. Brenda Combs, I sent them to her at one point, along with the floor plan for what that would look like. I share all that with you because I want you to know, not only have we been historically invested in this community, we're invested in the future. This is our town. We live here. Everything we do is about the betterment of the citizens of South Lebanon. And so I know I said I do 3 things, but I'm at a 4th. I got to be honest with you guys, this week's been hurtful. This has been a really hurtful week for Noah and I. We've given our life to this community and we want to, and we've been questioned. That's been hard. We don't do this to stand up in front of you guys to show you spreadsheets full of investments of the things that we do, but we sure don't like to be disrespected. That's hurtful. And so one of the things I would love to do as we continue on with this meeting, and I know there are disagreements. I know there are hurt feelings. I want to remind everybody, our battle's not against flesh and blood. All of us, we're all in the same business. We're in the people serving business. And so whatever our disagreements are, let's coalesce around that. Let's agree that that's the work that we're doing on behalf of the citizens of this community. And when there are disagreements, there will be. Let's not assume the worst about somebody. Let's assume the best about them. If we've got a disagreement, let's not go to social media and disparage people with facts that just aren't true. Let's go to that person and ask them. I'll be glad to meet with anybody that wants to sit down and talk about what we've got going, where we're heading, and what we'd like to do in the future. So with that, glad to answer any questions. If you want to grab coffee sometime, glad to do that. But I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin, so much. Any questions? Okay. Before I open the floor to the public, if you're going to speak about the Historical Society this evening, you need to pick 3 members of your group to speak. You will have 3 minutes, and when your 3 minutes, when you have spoken, your 3 minutes are up, you will take your seats, and there will be no more comments. When I close the floor, if there are any other comments from the gallery, I will ask you to refrain from that, and if you can't, you will be removed from the chamber. So I'm going to ask you to decide who is going to speak on your behalf as I open up the floor. The floor is now open to the public to speak about the Historical Society, if you have signed in. Please state your name and your address.
My name's Joseph Glass, live at 411 Mary Lane, been here since 1989. We come down to kind of talk about how some of the leases, like the community service, the Historical Society, how a lot of that was being put together. And we know that you guys want to use the historical building, bring it back into the administration's control. With the community center, their lease is up this year also? at the end of their lease, we would like to know if they're gonna be put up for public bid. According to charter, what, 10.07 or 01? It would have to be put up for public bid. Or if also, we would like to try and get possibly a room within the community center for the historical society, at least have it put into the lease.
That would be a discussion that you will have with Kevin and their organization.
But you guys are in charge of the building itself, correct?
No,
It is a
Just-
City of South Lebanon building.
it is, but it is being leased, and I will let our solicitor speak to this.
Go ahead.
I know I only have 3 minutes, so
Well,
That was
we'll
some of
give
the-
you, we'll give you,
that was some of the stuff that we were wanting to bring up to try and, we were one time in the community building.
I understand.
And, we believe that everybody in the Historical Society does a good service to the community. There's a lot of people in this building today that absolutely are devastated by the fact that the Historical Society is not going to be around for a while, or we're going to be out on our ear. And that's something that everybody is passionate about. And it's created a lot of division. And we just hope that everybody can come together and possibly help find us a solution for this. Because we believe we're very needed within this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Please state your name and
My name is Karen Johnson. I live at 478 Mary Lane. When I moved to South Lebanon, I was wondering, how good of a place it would be because I used to live in Kentucky. I lived in Mason and Mainville. The South Lebanon has been one of the most blessed counties that I have lived in. I could make blankets, I could make desserts and stuff, and I can take it to the society building and give it to little kids and stuff that makes them so happy. And if we lose that, then I won't know what to do with my blankets that I make for them or their desserts. And that's really what I say. I mean, I really love all the people that works there and stuff. They're really, really good to me. And God gave me a gift to give, and that's what I like to do.
thank you. Anyone else? I'm going to close the floor to the public, and I'm going to make a statement. The history of South Lebanon is important to me also. I've lived here for 17 years. I am a life member of the Historical Society. I have donated my time, treasures, and talents to help the Historical Society. The Historical Society's mission is to retain the history of this city now, not to be planning events and things like that. That's the city's. We plan and pay for we plan with Union Township, all the parades, the Memorial Day parade, and the service is handled by Union Township. We pay for Union Township and South Lebanon, pay for the 4th of July, fireworks, and we pay for the stage and all the lighting. We pay for anything that you see. We could be collecting permit fees for anything that was held on city property, but we haven't. I care about this community, and I do care about the Historical Society, but no one from the Historical Society has ever come and spoke with me about this. They chose to go to Facebook and post things that were not true. They were never being evicted. They were never being forced out. Their lease is up. And in the lease, it states that the first part of the lease, if the municipality needs that building back, or any building that we would lease out to someone, it is to go back to the city. We did not force them out. They are free to continue till the end of their lease. I would encourage the Historical Society to start working on a plan, your leaders in the Historical Society, to start fundraising, to find a place to rent and to stay. I have done research on historical societies all over this area, and I wish you would read the history of Waynesville and Warren County and Loveland and all these other historical societies that do not reside in government buildings. They had fundraisers, they had capital fundraisers, and they're in buildings that they rent now, and they are autonomous from the city. That's what I would hope you would do. My door has been open to you to come and speak with me, but no one has from the Historical Society. You decided to go out on Facebook and put misinformation out there. So that's my statement to you. My door is still open, and we are going to now proceed with the rest of council's work this evening. Thank you very much for coming.
I do want to address the gentleman's comment about the section in the charter. I'll specifically quote the charter, Article 10, Section 10.02B. When any contract for the construction of a public improvement or the purchase of equipment, supplies, or materials is estimated to exceed the threshold amount that is established by council, the contract shall be competitively bid. That provision does not apply to a lease agreement. So there's no requirement under the charter to competitively bid a lease. If the city, for example, wants to improve a road, that would be a public improvement. Those are subject to competitive bidding.
Thank you, Andrew. Now moving on to new business. Emergency Ordinance 2024-21, authorizing the vacation of the right-of-way easement for a section of Stryker Road. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will need a motion to waive the 2 reading rule. And a second.
I make motion to waive the rules. Linda Allen?
Lisa Fetter, I second.
Allen,
Yay.
sorry, Combs,
No.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. I now need a motion and a second to approve by title only.
Linda Allen?
Emergency Ordinance 2024-21.
Linda Allen, I'll make a motion on the emergency ordinance 2024-21.
Lisa Fetter, I'll second.
Allen,
Yay.
Combs,
No.
Fetter,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution 2024-37, first reading, authorizing the initiation of a zoning text amendment to section 15.11.7 of the city zoning code for private swimming pools. So is there any discussion about this?
I do have a question, Linda.
Yes.
So I know they amended that in the appeal for the planning and zoning, correct?
It's going to go to planning and zoning.
Okay, so when and Jerry can answer this, when they did that appeal and they won that appeal, does that affect us at all? Or does that kind of give us a little give to where, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of the same thing. No?
Yeah, so the BZA is, the Board of Zoning Appeals is on a case-by-case basis. So every variance or case that comes in front of that's on its own merits. So it has no bearing on the zoning regulations that in general.
So, are there any other questions? This is so entered into the record. Resolution 2024-38, first reading, authorizing the submission of fiscal year 25 Community Development Block Grant, that's a mouthful, application to the Warren County Office of Grants Administration for Hobart Street improvements. Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none, so entered into the record. I will need a motion and a second to approve invoices. Are there any questions about motions or invoices? Hearing none, I will need a motion and a second.
Brenda Combs, motion.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. I need a motion to approve law director's invoices. I will need a motion and a second.
Brenda Combs, motion made.
Marion Harrison, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Motion to approve the September financial statements.
Motion made. Brenda Combs.
Marion Harrison, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to old business. Resolution 2024-34, the second reading, approval of an agreement with the Warren County Soil and Water Conservation District of calendar year 2025. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve by title only.
Brenda Combs, motion to approve by title only.
Linda Allen, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison,
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Thank you. Motion carries. Now we'll have communications and reports from city officials and our committee chairs. First, it's me, and I want to thank all of you for coming here tonight and speaking with us and voicing your opinions. I want to thank Kevin for clearing up some misinformation about Joshua's Place and what a great job they do there. I hope that we can all come to an agreement. There is no questioning from the gallery. Floor is closed. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I hope that the South Lebanon Historical Society will start looking around and having fundraisers. We don't want to see, and no one's trying to wipe the history of South Lebanon off the books. My husband served in the United States Marine Corps for 25 years, defending this nation. Our history is very important to us. This community is very important to us. And as I said, my door is open to discuss, but as far as the lease being renewed, it will not. So I will move on now to my Director of Finance, Tina.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let council know that the job posting has went out for the Deputy Director of Finance / Tax Administrator. It was posted on our website. It's been sent out to multiple organizations, governmental organizations that deal with finance and tax. And I believe the mayor did share that on Facebook too. So if you can get the word out also, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Tita. Our administrator, Jerry Haddix.
Yeah, just a few things. I guess trick or treat's always on the 31st on 6 to 8, so I've got it on the website and out on the board. I talked to Bob Napier at the fire chief, and he concurs. That's their plan as well. Forest Avenue projects start this week, so you can see the construction going on. They're hopefully get some good weather the next few weeks and make some good progress, and hopefully get it done by end of November, or December at least. I got a notice from Duke. They're going to be transporting some large equipment from Monroe to their Butterworth road station. And that'll be Sunday morning, I think from 7:30 to 2. So it could affect, they'll be coming down to 48 from 71. So you may see some delays and during that time, especially if you go through Mainville or Hamilton Township. I think there's quite heavy. Hobart Street sidewalk, they're still planning to start later this month and have it wrapped up this year. Concrete's not quite as sensitive as the asphalt projects we have. Public Works crew is going to start leaf collection in full force next Monday. We've got a schedule on the website, and those are kind of flexible based on where the actual leaves fall and who gets them out on the street. So fortunately, our guys are flexible to get to wherever the leaves are piling up. And last thing, we have the proposed paving plan on the website for comments. We would like to get that, any comments, send it back to put in the budget for next year. So any questions on it, let me know, or anybody in the public as well. So, all right.
Andrew, our law director.
Nothing for me this evening.
Sergeant Adams. Councilmember Spicer.
I'd like to challenge a comment made by the mayor earlier this evening that it is not the Historical Society's place to host events. That was part of their lease agreement. Just didn't want to have any misinformation going around.
But I wanted everyone to be clear about who paid for those for the 4th of July and for the Memorial Day and those events. Councilmember Federer.
Okay, being new here to council, and I wasn't here 5 years ago when this lease was put together. I do want to say you guys had a sweetheart of a deal for 5 years. $1 a month is pretty cheap. And it actually, in revenue loss, that building could have been rented out for a lot more money. Also, one thing that might solve some problems here in this building is an elevator. The second floor can't be utilized until we get an elevator. ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, it could maybe be stored. There's got to be a compromise to this problem. There has to be. But cool heads will prevail. And frankly, what I seen on Facebook, I was really shocked and dismayed. It was kind of like, wow, got the teeth out. But there has to be a solution. And I understand the passion. I get it. My horse clubs are like that. Something goes haywire and everybody loves their horse and they go completely crazy. I get it. But there has to be a good solution. And, the city's growing. We've hired, 3 or 4 people over the summer. We have another we need office space in here too. So growing pains are going to happen, but we can't kill each other over it. That's my observation, and but I think a solution might be able, if but you gotta talk. That's my opinion.
Is that all, Lisa?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Mary Ann Harrison, I'm sorry.
Got them first names.
Hi,
going.
all of you probably know me. I'm one of the founders of the Historical Society. So passionate about the Historical Society, yes, I am. But I think everybody in this room is. Not one person does not want to see it continue. But we need to be civil. We need to sit down and have dialogue. It just doesn't happen. But not, like Lisa said, she said everything I was going to say, so ditto. But, and another note is that, someone mentioned the grant that you're talking about for the elevator. Actually, I have it on my phone because I was going to talk about that. So maybe that's something, we don't know, but it's something that we're excited that we could maybe look at. I'm not a grant person. These people are. I don't know how to apply for them. They know how. And they're experts, but we can get it done. Just everybody needs to calm down and work together. But again, let's do it in a civil manner. And that's what I want, because we're growing. You talk about South Lebanon, everybody's, oh yeah, it's a beautiful town, beautiful people. So we want to thank you guys for keeping us safe and doing the hard work. You're really feeling the pinch of the growth. I know that. So give them mercy too. They can't jump it every minute and they can't take complaints over Facebook.
It ain't a
I,
911.
no, that's not 911. But thank you, everybody, for coming. But always bring your concerns to us so we know what we need to address and work with together as a partner. And like I said, I believe everybody here feels the same way. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Harrison. I want to say Wilson Harrison. Councilman Allen.
Okay, I'll buy
Or
that one.
woman.
Either one, I don't care. I do want to thank everyone for coming out and sharing what you feel, We feel the same way, but how can we go out and run a building for our employees when we have one? And clearly the lease did say that at any time we needed it back. If we needed it 3 years ago, the lease gives us that option to go back even the first year they were in. We just had to give them 12 months notice. So by letting this run through, I think the administrative staff has done all they can do. We can't go out and pay rent. How can we justify that to the auditor when we're giving our building away for $1 a month? So I do want to thank everyone, and I do think there is solutions, but kindness is so much better handed to solution and resolution. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Councilmember Allen. Councilmember Combs.
Okay, I would like to address
you.
about the events as well. On that contract was also the car show and the Christmas in the Village. And neither of those take in any city money, and it's not city ran. But other than that, you're correct. We ran the July 4th and we did all the work. But yes, you guys did help pay for those. So you are correct on that one. I'd like to thank our Warren County Sheriff's Department and Union Village or Union Township for all their help and how they take good care of the city. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question for you, Brenda. On your flyer on Facebook, the Christmas in the Village has no reference to the South Lebanon Historical Society sponsoring it. It now reads the Combs and Wilson family.
It's always read that way. But you guys added it in the contract. So then we.
But yes.
Then we had to send on. You guys added it in the contract. Our family did not ask to be put in that contract, but we were, and yes, the
But that's where
Historical Society did help us.
Okay,
with the
that's where
volunteers.
miscommunication comes in and it
But-
needs to be
but it was-
communicated
But
better.
it was on that contract. And our family wasn't none too happy about it being on that contract, but it was, but anyway, our family pays for that, and the only money that we get from the public is from the card show attendees and what we sell as but we take care of the $13,000 to $16,000 that takes care of that event every year. Not the historical society, not the city, we do. But it was put in that contract, so.
Thank you, Councilmember Combs. I would now like to move for an adjournment. I need a first and a second.
Lynn Down, I make a motion to adjourn.
Lisa Fetter, I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?